Hallelujah. Okay, we are back. All right, you ready for part 3? We're looking at Revelation chapter 12, verse 2. Finally, we moving on to the next verse, y'all. I'm crawling here. I know those who already been on this channel for a long time, I know you all don't mind. Okay, we're going to look at these verses here. Oh, yeah. Okay. First of all, let's go back and reread verse 2 of Revelation 12 from the HebrewGospels.com. It reads, "She was pregnant and cried out, and she was at the point to give birth, and she had much pain because of the birth." Okay? Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the dragon yet. All right. We'll get there. We will get there. All right. But you're going to find out who the man child really is. Once we're through, y'all. I know a lot of people. I know one lady in the channel, she mentioned about it being Yehoshua, which it really has a lot to do with him. But we're going to go, you're going to see in the prophets, they really made it clear who he's talking about. Okay. We're going to let the word speak for itself. Okay. Not us speak for it. And then we speak what the word says, right? Okay. So I read verse 2. She was pregnant. She cried out. All right. And she was about to give birth and she had much pain. All right. Because of the birth. Now we're going to look at pretty much, we have 4 main verses to look at pertaining to Zion, specifically in these prophets, prophet Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Micah, about a woman in travail, a woman giving birth to a male, a woman in pain. Okay. And it's very specific when it talks about it being Bat Zion, the daughter of Zion. Okay. As I mentioned before in a previous video, that's one of the names of the bride, Zion. Okay. And the mountain that belongs to her is called Mount Zion. You know, you just name it after yourself, right? Well, that wasn't done. Okay. Anyway, he names it, right? Yah names it. So anyway, let's look at Isaiah 54, verse 1, Isaiah 66, verse 8, Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 31, and Micah chapter 4, verse 10. Now, I'm going to start off with what I have before me, which is Micah chapter 4, verse 10. Okay, because we're looking at the word travail, because that's the word that's used in Revelation chapter 12, verse 2. Okay, so we're going to look at that. That's what we're going to look at. But obviously, I like to give you context so you're not reading it out of text. Okay? All right, this is so fun. Okay, so I'm going to, now let me tell you, look when I did these notes. You see that? Oh, you can't see. I did that in July, y'all. It's amazing how I have been asking y'all about helping to understand Revelation 12 for a while. I didn't know that Micah was going to be tied into this. It's just this. Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to, let's go ahead and if you got your Blue Letter Bible out, you can go ahead and turn to Micah chapter 4. Okay, so we're reading scripture verses that we can relate to a woman being pregnant and travailing to give forth a child, okay? So I'm not going to read all of Micah chapter 4. I'm just going to read a few verses before and probably a few verses afterwards to give you context, all right, as I usually like to do. So, okay, let's start at verse, where is it? I'm sorry. I have verse 8 for me, but I wanted to read verse 7. You know how this goes. Let me just do it live. All right. So it reads, and I will make Hazolea, which is the limb, the rib. Okay. Sometimes you'll see it as the lame. Okay. Let me start from the beginning. Micah chapter 4, verse 7. And I will make it the rib. Okay. Feminine singular is what it means, because it's a different word for lame. There is a different word for actual, like a lame person. And we'll get to that. You'll see it. I will make the rib, which is in Hebrew, Hazolea, okay, a remnant. I will make the rib a remnant, and her that was cast off a strong nation. And the word for a strong nation here, it's like, how can I describe it? It is the one that is mighty, strong, yeah, numerous, and trying to remember if this is the one that means bone breakers. Okay. Mighty, strong. Okay, we're just gonna stick with that one. Mighty and strong, or mighty and numerous. Oh, I think the root word means bone breakers. Okay. Okay, just wait for this to pull up. And Yahweh shall reign over them in Mount Zion from henceforth and as far as eternity. Okay, that's from Micah chapter 4, verse 7. And I will make the rib and her that was cast off a strong, numerous nation. And Yahweh shall reign over them in Mount Zion from henceforth and into eternity. Okay, as far as eternity. Okay, verse 8 reads, and I'm just going to read it from me breaking it down from the Hebrew. I'm not going to spend all that time to break it down from the Hebrew. I've already done that work. So I'm just going to read what I put down the bottom. And you are the tower of the flock, the stronghold of daughter of Zion. Unto you she shall come, and the dominion, rule of the chief kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem, or Yerushalayim. Okay. Verse 9. And why do you cry out loud? No king, is there no king in you? Have your counselors perished? For pains have taken you as a woman in travail. Okay. And that's taking you, feminine singular, for pains. Okay. Just like, birthing pain has taken you, feminine singular, talking to the door of Zion, as a woman in travail. All right. Verse 10. This is what I broke down from verse 10. All right. So here, this is what I'm going to read. Dance, wreathe in pain, and gush forth, O daughter Zion, as one bearing in childbirth. Henceforth you shall exit from a city, settle down and reside in the countryside, and come to Babylon. There you shall deliver yourself, or be delivered. There Yahweh shall redeem you from the hand of your persecutors. So here we see in verse 10 about the woman wreathing in pain. But you see the name that is given here is the daughter of Zion, right? Daughter Zion. You could just say Bat Zion, daughter Zion. Okay? Just as I read in the verse, in verse 8, about you are, the stronghold of the daughter of Zion. So we know now the woman here that is wreathing in pain, laboring to bring forth, okay? Like a woman in travail is daughter Zion. And instructions are given, because when it says you, feminine singular, this is you, feminine singular. Hold on. Okay. Okay, yes, you, feminine singular. So when it says you shall exit from a city, that's feminine singular. That's not plural. It's not talking about a multitude of people. It's very clear. The text says you, and in Ibri, the verb qual, imperfect, second person, feminine singular. You shall exit from a city and settle down where? In the countryside, and come to Babylon, and there you shall be delivered. There Yahweh shall redeem you from the hand of your persecutors. Okay? It doesn't say cities, it just says city. Okay? So I'm just reading from what it says. All right, so that's where we see here about a woman travailing. And here it's referring to Zion. So if we take what the prophets are already giving us in Micah chapter 4, verse 10, and the other verses I read to you, we know that now this woman that we're referring to is given the name Zion, or daughter of Zion, Bat Zion. All right. Now, I'll read down a little bit more because this will come into what we're going to talk about, or what I've actually already spoken about. Remember, I told you that since the moon represents the woman, the bride, Bat Zion, and the stars represents the 12 children, or the 12 tribes of Israel upon her head. Now, this was the 144,000 remnant of Israel. I'm going to read down here. You'll see exactly why I said that Yah has given us an illustration of the sun ruling the day, ruling over the kingdom of light, over the children of light, whereas the moon and the stars are given dominion over the night, the darkness, the kingdom of darkness, to rule, to have dominion, to put down darkness, wickedness. Okay, so I'm just going to read these last 3 verses of Micah. I already read you Micah verse 10, but just to give you some context about what I just shared in my previous video, I'm going to read this just so you see. Okay, I'm going to read it from what I've broken down from the Ibri. All right, which is here. All right. Now also many nations are gathered against you that say, let her be defiled. Let our eye look upon Zion. Verse 12. But they know not the thoughts of Yahuwah, neither understand they his counsel. For he shall gather them as sheaves into the floor. Verse 13. Arise, feminine singular, and thresh, feminine singular, O daughter of Zion, for I will make your horn iron, and I will make your hoofs brass, and you shall beat in pieces many people, and I will consecrate their gains, their riches unto Jehovah, and their substance unto the Adon of all the earth. Okay? And I put their reference. You can look at Isaiah chapter 60, verse 17. But I just want to mention that because of what I said in the previous video about how the moon and the stars have dominion over darkness to beat darkness. Okay, Hoshet, night. And I just wanted to show you that verse 13 of Micah chapter 4 reiterates what I said in my previous video. Okay, that's all. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one here is Isaiah chapter 54, verse 1. Okay, another verse that mentions about a woman being pregnant, travailing, and giving birth to children. Okay. All right. From the Hebrew, it reads, sing, O barren, you that did not bear, break forth into singing, and cry aloud, you that did not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married one, says Jehovah. Okay. Now, I wrote something, and I wrote it to somebody in a different video because they were they were taking this verse out of context, and I was trying to communicate to them that in order for a woman to be barren, she had to be married. You know, she has to know that she is barren, that she cannot bear. Um, and for her to be desolate also gives an illustration that she was once fertile, but now no longer has. Okay. Um, and I said, like, this woman is like a flourishing, populated city that was once fertile, but something wasted her womb and she became barren. Thus, she became desolate. Okay. So, we always want to take the time to sit back and meditate and ask God to give us clarity and really think about those things. You can actually go more into the verses, but I just really wanted to point out that the woman in travail part. Hold on. Give me one moment. I'm reading. Okay. And it's be good just to take the time to read through all of it. Okay. And yes, in verse 5, it also of the same chapter, it also reiterates verse 5 of Isaiah chapter 54, verse 5. It says, "Your maker is your husband. Yahweh of hosts is his name. And your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, Elohai, of the whole earth shall he be called." Okay? I'm just going through here. Okay? And I probably might go through the Hebrew and all this later, but I don't want to. I just want to keep it in context right now. All right? So I just wanted to connect that this is referring to, once again, this is what I want to say about Zion. Hold on. Okay. That's all I have for right now with that. Let me just go ahead and take a moment to actually go back on that right there. So I just read you verse 1 and verse 5, okay, to show that this is pertaining to, they titled this The Fertility of Zion. Well, there you have it, okay. I turned to a Blue Letter Bible, and the title of it is The Fertility of Zion. So we know that verse 1 of this chapter, Isaiah 54, is referring to Bat Zion, and that it reiterates in Isaiah chapter 54, verse 5, "For your maker is your husband, Yahuwah Sebaot is his name, and your Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, Elohai, of the whole earth shall he be called." Okay? So you can see there, we're talking about this woman in travail, right? And here, verse 5, it says that her maker is her husband, right? The maker, the creator is the husband, okay? The redeemer, we know who redeemed Israel. So you can see here the son, father, husband, bridegroom, strong man being illustrated here. The moon, mother, wife, bride. The stars, the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. So as I'm doing this, I'm just bringing everything back. The scriptures in Ibri are there to answer what you see in the book of Revelation. And I'm doing this video so that people can understand the truth, so you know what to expect. You won't be caught off guard. You know what Yah's getting ready to do, because you know what the language, the Ibri, the Hebrew, is actually telling us in the scriptures. Because the scriptures are going to answer themselves. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm just showing you how the scriptures answers who's who in Revelation chapter 12. That's all. That's all I'm doing. Okay. All right. Let's go on to, that was Isaiah chapter 54, verse 1. And I read verse 5 just to give you some context. Let's go to, do I have it here? Yeah, let's go ahead and go to Isaiah chapter 66. And obviously, we're going to focus on verse 8, but I want to be sure to actually give you context because it does us no good to read and we don't have context, because anything that's taken out of anything that's not in context can be taken out of context. All right, so we want to keep it based on what it's actually saying, and we don't want to distort what's being said. All right, now hold on. I'm supposed to pull up my keyboard and I didn't. Okay. Boom. There you go. All right. So if you want really good context about this chapter and about verse 8, which I'm going to highlight on, an example of a woman travail, okay, about to give birth, but this is very specific, obviously. This is very specific. Okay, this is beyond a shadow of a doubt. This is about Zion, okay? This will you should not have any doubts by the time you're done that the woman of Revelation 12 is Zion, who is AKA the bride, who's AKA, mother, wife, AKA children, the 12 tribes of Israel, AKA the 144,000, AKA, because it just says right there in Isaiah chapter 66. So let's go ahead and read it, okay? Because this is amazing. All right. So I went ahead. I'm not going to take too much time. I went ahead and translated 5 through 13 from the Hebrew. Okay. But I do recommend you take the time to start in verse 1. Actually, let me go ahead and start in verse 1. Now, I did not translate from the Hebrew to the English, verse 1 through 4, but I did do through verse 5, from verse 5 through 13. Okay, so let's read this. I'm going to read verse 1 through 4 from the KJV, and then from there, you know what? How about I do this? Let's use the Geneva, right? Yes, let's do the Geneva this time. See how this goes. Okay. Give me one moment. Isaiah's on page 678. 678 is so great. Isaiah chapter 66. And I'm just going to read the first 4 verses, 1 through 4 from the Geneva. And then I'm going to read it from what I actually translated from the Hebrew directly. Okay? All right, verse 1. Thus says Jehovah, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is that house that you will build unto me? Where is that place of my rest? For all these things has my hand made, and all these things have been, says Jehovah. And to him will I look, even to him that is poor and of a contrite spirit, and trembles at my words. He that kills a bullock, as if he slew a man, he that sacrifices sheep, as if he cut off a dog's neck, he that offers an oblation, as if he offers swine's blood, he that remembers incense, as if he blessed an idol. Yea, they have chosen their own ways, and their soul delights in their abominations. Therefore will I choose out of their delusions, and I will bring their fear upon them, because I called, and none would answer. I speak, and they would not hear, but they did evil in my sight, and chose the things which I would not. So hear you all the word of Yahuwah, you who tremble at my word, meaning at his word, meaning those who revere Yah's word. You don't take his word lightly. If he says that's an abomination, you don't play with that. If he said that's a day of rest, you don't play with that. You take his word seriously, okay? So hear you all the word of Yahuwah, all you who tremble at his word, your brothers who hate you all, who have driven you out, have said on account of my name, let Yahweh be glorified, and we shall see your joy. They will be put to shame. Verse 6. A voice of uproar, tumult, destruction from the city. A voice from the palace or temple or a large public building. The voice of Yahweh, who is rewarding or paying back recompense to his enemies. Verse 7. Before she shall bear or travail in pain, she brought forth. Before pain came to her, she gave birth to a male. She delivered a male child, a man child, right? Now, this is going to give you the context of who's the man child, okay? Check this out. Now, obviously, this obviously we know that a lot of this refers to the Messiah, but check this out, what this verse is saying. Verse 8. Who has heard of such a thing? And who has seen such things? Can a land be born or travail in one day? Or can a nation be brought forth all at once? So Zion travailed, also she brought forth her children. Did you catch that? I hope you did. Did you catch it? Let me read verse 7 again. I want you to catch it. Catch who this male child is. Catch who this man child is. Okay, yes, this is from the Messiah, okay? Because we know that it's probably the Messiah would rule with a rod of iron. We know that. But catch this one more time. Verse 7 and 8. Before she travailed in pain, she brought forth. Before pain came to her, she gave birth. She delivered a male child. Verse 8. Who has heard of such thing? Who has seen such things? Can a land, a country, be born or travail in one day? Can a nation be birthed or brought forth all at once? All at once. A nation, male child, man child, a nation, man child, male child, a nation. Can a nation be brought forth all at once? So Zion travailed. Also, she brought forth or birthed her children. So here we are seeing that the male child is is synonymous to a nation being brought forth suddenly. That she's bringing forth, that Zion is bringing forth. Okay, it happens suddenly. And I'm going to show you from, I can go back to Zephaniah. I'm sorry. Where's my paper? Okay, I can show you in Zephaniah what I mean. She's brought forth a nation. All right. Now I got plenty of notes. Got notes. Okay. Hopefully I can go find it again. It's about time for me to get another binder because y'all, I got so many notes. Woo. So much Hebrew I break down like every single week. Yeah. And yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I just read that to you, right? Yeah, I did. I just read that to you. That's from that nation being brought forth. You will find that. Go right back to Micah chapter 4, verse 7 that I read to you. And I will set up a point, make the rib set up or make the rib a remnant or her posterity, and the removed one, feminine singular, to a nation powerful and numerous, aka bone breakers. And Yahweh, he shall reign over them in Mount Zion from this time forth and as far as eternity. Okay? All right, I'm trying to make sure. Okay, once again, this is, like I said, the remnant of Israel coming forth from the rib, from Zion, from this woman, from the bride. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 19. Behold, I will shall deal with those who afflict and oppress you, feminine singular at that time. And I will save or deliver the rib, and I shall gather the outcasts, driven out one, feminine singular, and I will make them, okay, this is referring to the remnant of Israel, to a praise and to a name in all the earth, her shamed ones, okay, the ones who were looked down upon. Yeah, okay. I'll keep this open because I'm gonna need to go back to it. Woo, y'all. Okay, I will keep reading verse 9 just to keep things in context from Isaiah chapter 66. So I'm going back to Isaiah chapter 66. I highlighted mainly verse 8, where Zion is travailing. Zion gives birth to her children. And the verse before then lets you know that the male child is synonymous to her children. Okay? Just meditate on that. Ask Yah for confirmation, clarification, if you have any questions. Okay, verse 9. You're going to love this one. Oh my goodness. Y'all, that's why Ibri, yay. Okay, verse 9. I'm going to tell you what it actually says in Ibri. Let me read it to you in Ibri because my goodness. You know, verse 9, they take things out of context because obviously our English language shortchanges us. Okay, ha ani ash bir velo olid yomar Yahuwah im ani hamolid we azarti amar Elohayik. Okay, and it reads from the Ibri. The ha'ani, you know what the ha'ani means? The I am. It is the I am. Ha'ani, the I am. But that's not how they translated it. You look at your Bible versions, it translated as, shall I bring to birth? Shall I bring to birth? You know, it reads ha'ani, the I am. So, shall the I am bring to birth or cause to break out and not beget a child, says Yahuwah? Or shall I, who begets, restrain, says your feminine singular, Elohim? Let me read that again. Okay. Whoop. Sorry about that. Shall the I am bring to the birth or cause to break out and not beget a child, says Yahuwah? Or shall I, masculine singular, who begets, restrains, says your feminine singular, Elohim? All right, I'll show you what that looks like. I don't want to read verse 10 just yet. Okay. And like I said, go back and look at the Ibri, y'all. Check this out. Boop, boop, boop. See? Feminine singular. So you know who he's talking to, right? He's talking to the woman. Y'all. All right. Verse 10. Rejoice, you all, with Yerushalayim. I didn't even say that right. Rejoice, you all, with Yerushalayim. And you all spin around in joy. Be excited for her, all you who love her. You all exult. Be cheerful with her exceedingly, all you who mourn over her. Verse 11. For you all shall nurse and be satisfied, be filled from the breast of her consolations, meaning to comfort, much comforting. For you all will milk out from the fullness of her riches or glory. Okay, it really is glory or riches, but they translate it as bosom. Okay. Verse 12, for thus says Yahuwah, behold, I stretch out or extend or offer to her like a river, peace, and like a torrent or a flood overflowing, the glory, the riches of nations. And you all shall nurse upon the hip, you all shall be carried and lifted up, and on the two knees, you all shall be fondled, okay, fondled, okay, like, caress. Oh, look at the little baby, so cute, okay. All right, and then verse 13, like one who his mother comforts or consoles him, so will I comfort and console you all, and in Yerushalayim you all will be comforted. Okay. All right. Wow, wow, wow. And the last one is Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 31. All right. Like I said, this one was rich. Okay. Jeremiah chapter 41 reads like this. For a voice as of a woman travailing, I heard in anguish, trouble, distress, as one bearing her firstborn. A voice of daughter Zion, gasping for breath, stretching or spreading out her hands. Woe now is me, for faint and weary is my soul before the slayers, before the murderers. Okay? Daughter Zion, gasping for breath, spreading out her hands. Woe now is me, for faint, weary is my soul before slayers or before the murderers. Okay? As I mentioned before in another video regarding the bride Messiah from Revelation chapter 11, because the bride Messiah is a part of the two witnesses, the bride Messiah does experience being slain. Okay. But, and that's why if you go back and listen to some of my older videos regarding this, what I'm saying will make more sense. But like I said, there's a lot of scriptures to go through. And all of this I've broken down from the Ibri. So you're given a better context than what our English language can actually communicate. All right. So with that, I hope this one was very fruitful. I'm sure you're like probably either itching or you got other questions or something, But like I said, go back. You can go break it down the Ibri yourself. You can use your blueletterbible.org, or you can get an interlinear Bible if you want to. And study to show yourself approved. Be a good Berean. Don't go by what people are telling you, because like I said, our English language does not do Ibri, Hebrew justice. Our language doesn't do justice. Okay. We need to go back to the language of our ancestors and to understand what is really being said. So with that, I say shalom, shalom, and until next time, which we still are on Revelation 12, like I promised. Shalom.